Welcome to the Leverage Show. This is Brett Ingram, and today I want to share with you a really simple way to get your email finally in order. Get that inbox cleaned out, get all of those emails sort of funneled into one place and have it all simplified. Now, if you're like me, you end up starting off with one email address and you think, oh, that's pretty much all I'm going to need. I'll put all my important emails in here. Then you realize, well, there's going to be more email coming in that maybe I don't want to address right away, or it might be stuff that I'm signing up for, so I want a different email address for that. Or you just change accounts because you don't like the way one of the services that you're using works. Or for one reason or another, we end up making several different email accounts. And the problem with that is over time, it becomes really difficult to sort of keep them all straight. Now, unless you're really on top of things and you realize, hey, I just made a new account and that's what I'm going to be using. I'm going to go into everything that I was using tied to this old account and update my email address. Good luck. But unless you do that, you're really going to be stuck with maybe some important emails going to this box, some going to that box, some going to this other one. You may actually have an email address for work or for your business, and then you have a personal one, then you may have one for your family or whatever else, and you may have some through different services that you use. So I'm going to share with you a really simple method that I use because I'm all about simplicity. I think it's very important, especially when we're dealing with online technology, to keep things as simple as possible. There are a million different complicated ways to sort of connect things together, but what ends up happening in that kind of situation is at some point or another it breaks, and then you have this really sort of total mess that is difficult to clean up. So what I've found is if there's a way to sort of channel all the emails into one place, but then beyond that, a way to organize them in a logical method so you know exactly where everything is, it's the easiest way to do it. And you can adjust this approach for whatever works for you, but I'm just going to share with you a few of the things that I did because they made a big difference in terms of being able to keep everything in one place. Now, the first thing that I did was I wanted a web-based email client. Now, what I mean by that is when I want to check my email, I want to be able to do it online. So whether I have my cell phone or whether I have my computer or whatever, I want to be able to check it and I want it in one place. I don't want some downloadable software because I've tried a ton of these different downloadable software clients. Every time you change computers, you have to reinstall it. Every time you change operating systems or upgrade, the software doesn't work right. There are constantly updates running. It wants to download a ton of emails to your inbox while you're trying to do other stuff. It keeps popping up prompts on the screen. Super, super annoying stuff. And then it's this gigantic file. If you don't clean it, I don't care what email client it is and how fast they claim that it works, what ends up happening is it bogs down. It bogs down, and then you can't even send emails. You're clicking on links and they don't open. It's a real pain in the neck. So the first thing that I wanted was a web-based email client where no matter where I am, I can log in, check that, and boom, my email is there. The second requirement that I was looking for when I was doing the research for this is I wanted something where I could funnel all my accounts into one place. Even if it's web-based, I don't want 6 different logins. I don't want to go there and have to log in, check this particular box, log out, log back in, check the next box. I didn't want to do any of that stuff. And quite frankly, that's one of the problems that I had with Gmail. I'm not a big fan of it because I don't mind having a Gmail email address, but I don't like their email reading client. I find it very confusing, and I don't want the software to decide where it's going to put certain emails of mine, and so by itself. And so I wanted something where I could log in one place. And so if I have a lightweight client that's online and I can check all my emails and link them all to one place, I'm half the way there. I'm halfway there. Okay, but there's still a couple of other issues or a couple of other requirements, because even if you do that, what you're going to end up having is you're either going to have a ton of different email boxes inside that client where you have to click on each one, or you're going to have a gigantic number of emails in the inbox every day that is just impossible to get through. Now, if you don't get that much email, you're really lucky. Consider yourself lucky. I get hundreds, literally hundreds, maybe even over 1,000 emails every single day from the different things that I'm involved in and doing. And, my business is online. So, but regardless, this process I'm going to share with you will work for any amount of email that you have, and it will simplify your life and make it easier. It also will allow you to outsource this. So if you have a staff or an assistant, or you want to hire an outsourcer, or whatever the case may be, it will work with this method. So the last piece of the puzzle that I really wanted to have with my email client and my email management system, if you want to call it that, is I wanted something where I could set up automated rules for particular types of emails. Like, for example, a lot of my payment processing goes through PayPal. Well, I don't need in my inbox every time I receive a payment to say, you've received a payment, you've received a payment. I don't need a ton of those things every single day. Those can just go right into the trash. Now, if there's a customer dispute, or if there is a support issue, or there's a personal email from one of my partners, those are all things that I definitely want brought to my attention. So Outlook, Microsoft Outlook used to be a desktop client. And I'll be honest with you, I used it for a few years and I hated it. I thought it was terrible. It was so heavy. It was so clunky. It was constantly crashing, constantly going through updates. It was a nightmare to back up and restore. You'd lose all your emails, all these other problems. When you have a web-based client, the beauty of it is all of your email is also saved. So you never need to worry about a crash or losing your computer data or any of that other stuff. The new version of Outlook has a web-based client. It's totally free, and you can download it, and then you can link as many email boxes to it as you want. Now, it takes a few minutes on the setup. It might take you a half an hour or something if you have multiple email boxes to set up. But here's the key. There are some automation rules that you can set up within that will allow you to automatically move emails. But that wasn't quite enough, because those are these big, broad, global rules that apply. And without getting into the specifics of how all the rules work, because you'll be able to see this when you check it out, I found another tool called SaneBox, SANEBOX. And it links with Outlook or any other software platform that does email. And what it allows you to do is teach it what you want it to do with certain emails. So certain from addresses, certain subject lines, these kinds of things you can move into different boxes. But the way that it keeps your inbox really lightweight is it learns from your behavior, and it sees which emails that you're opening and which emails you're sort of like letting sit in the inbox. You might not be deleting. And it creates a special folder called Sane Later. And it will put all of those emails that you don't process right away into that inbox, into that folder. So it doesn't clog up your inbox. But this way, you can funnel all of your emails from all of your sources into one main inbox, and you can streamline it. And then when there's other things that are a little bit less important, you can move them into that other box automatically. But here's where it gets really exciting. You can train it. You could create different folders and you could train it. Like, for example, I have a receipts folder. So anything that has like your payment has been received, thank you for your purchase, any of those kinds of things, I drag those into the receipts folder and it learns. So then every time an email like that comes through, it dumps it into that folder automatically. I don't need to process it. I do the same thing for logins. Every time you sign up for a new service, I mean, how many times does this happen? Where you go online, you sign up for an account somewhere, and then you can't remember your blasted login the next time that you're trying to log in over there. Well, I take those welcome emails and I drag them into a logins folder. So now I've got my logins, I've got my receipts, and any other key important things like that, I can make a folder for and drag them in there. So now what happens is as all the emails come in from all the different sources into my main inbox, they automatically get routed like an intelligent telephone operator. It knows where to put the different things. Now, it takes a little bit of time to teach it the rules also. You will find at first you're going to need to babysit it a little bit and make sure it doesn't accidentally mark things as spam or junk and stuff like that. So it does take a little bit, but it's worth the time, because once you've got it set up the right way, it will work for you forever. And that tool has a small price to it. I forget how much it is. It's free for the basic level. It's a couple dollars a month or something for the next level. But Outlook is totally free. So it's a super powerful email management structure. If you go out and you get Outlook, web-based software, just log in online, and then it gives you instructions on how to link all your email accounts. They can be corporate email accounts, they could be free email accounts like Hotmail or Gmail or whatever. You can link all of those things. They could be private email accounts. If you have like your own domain name and you have an email account there, you can link all of those together. And then you can have them all dump into one central box, or you can move them around. But I've actually found through trial and error, the smartest way to do it is to dump them into one central inbox and then set up smart rules for where they all go. That saves you hours and hours of time and does a bit of automation for you, and will completely eliminate your email headaches almost overnight. Well, at least in the first few days. As always, if you have any questions or comments, share them with me at leverageshow.com or tweet them at me with #LeverageShow. And until next time, make it happen.